carry. And that ball is gone. Another home run. Onto the berm on the first pitch. He's seen 2 pitches today, and he has 2 solo home runs.
Next pitch from Cologne on the outside corner for a called third strike.
2-2 for Cortez. Swinging a curveball, loop to the air, shallow left center field. Brugman in on the run, dives and makes the catch. Fully outstretched, nice play.
As Ozuna hits it a ton down the left field line. And that ball is gone. It's a home run. Gets out of here in a hurry.
You want guys that could come up and understand the game and play good defense. Here's a ground ball back to the middle, ranging towards Story. Shortstop got it from shallow center. He throws the first.
And Tucker drives this one deep to right field. Ball is hooking. Going toward the corner now, and watching it go is Castillo. His 3rd home run of the spring.
Hey everyone, welcome to 1225 Live. I'm Alexa Datt. Happy Friday. We've got some breaking news here on this Friday. We're going to head down to Jupiter in just a minute because the breaking news comes to us from Cardinals camp. Cards ace Carlos Martinez was scratched today from his start for a personal matter. So we're going to head down there to Jupiter. Like I mentioned, Joe Trezza, who covers the Cardinals for us here on MLB.com, will give us the latest. We also have Joe Posnanski, who will be joining us for that Friday feeling. And he's going to let us know some of the feelings that are going around baseball right now on some of the hottest topics like Miguel Andujar potentially forcing the hand of the Yankees to make him the opening day starter, as well as Tim Tebow and Russell Wilson taking some quarterback hacks down at spring training. What's that all about, and how do fans really feel about that? Plus, we have some information today also about Shohei Ohtani, who is going to be pitching. Everyone's excited about that, but he's also going to be taking some more swings at the plate. So what's our Friday feeling on that as well? All that and so much more. By the way, if you have a Friday feeling on any of those topics, let us know, and we'll share it here on the show. We start the show the way we do every day with Danny Wexman, our social savant. Hi, Danny.
Hey, girl. What's
up?
Happy
Friday.
Happy Friday.
How you feeling?
I really liked everything you just said. I was thinking in my head as you were reading them off. Every single thing that you said. We have a huge show today.
We have a huge show today. Yeah. Tons of big topics and a lot of big names. So I'm excited to get to it.
I'm pumped too.
Yeah. You saw something on the internet that somebody sent us that made us look a lot better than we actually look, right?
I did. So
yeah.
This
What is this?
This is from our friend Vinny.
Okay.
My friend Vinny, who is a huge fan, and he loves what we do. He told me yesterday, I saw him, he loves our show so much. And he's like, he's just a huge fan and clearly thinks that we are superheroes and deserve to look like such. And so he sent me this, and I shared with you, and now here it is on the show.
That's amazing. I love that. Thank you so much, Vinny.
Thank you, Vinny.
Yeah, he's a huge supporter of the show, so I thought that was pretty cool. And yeah, that's exactly what we look like every day in real life, so
we do.
Why not rep it?
Spring training superheroes.
That's right. Big sexy Bartolo Colon was on the mound for the Rangers, and you know, he had an okay outing, but he had some more interesting things to say after his outing, by the way. In the 2 innings he pitched, 1 run and a strikeout, but what he said afterwards, I think, is what caught a lot of people's attention. Take a listen to why he is happy to be pitching with the Rangers.
He said he feels well, and he was throwing strikes, so he's happy with the way that he feels. He says he has personal goals that he wants to achieve, and hopefully the team will allow him to reach those. The American League is where he wants to be because he doesn't have to hit or run.
Because he doesn't have to hit or run. What are you talking about? Big Sexy, our favorite thing from you, maybe in your entire career, was that home run. And I'm so disappointed that he's not into hitting home runs anymore.
Don't be greedy. Don't be greedy. He gave you the gift that's going to give forever. Don't be greedy. He doesn't want to hit or run anymore. Leave him alone. Let him pitch.
Or sprinting out of the box when the helmet comes off, or when he swings around. All of that's so fun to watch from Big Sexy, but I guess we're not going to see that anymore.
Well, you never know. You never know. I mean, they do play NL teams, so it could fall on the day that he's pitching.
Hey, interleague action.
Fingers crossed.
We'll see.
All right, listen to this. So there's never not a good time to take a selfie, right? And there was a fan who is clearly a big fan of Todd Frazier, who isn't a big fan of him. And so he thought the perfect time to ask for a selfie was right before Todd has to go to work and hit a home run. Here is this guy taking a selfie. It was worth the risk for a new profile picture. What do you think about this?
Yeah, I gotta say though, you don't bother the player while they're on deck circle. I don't care. I don't care. You don't do it. Listen, spring training or not, this is something that the players dedicate their time before and after the game to signing autographs and taking selfies and speaking with the fans, but not during the game, man. Come on. It's with a new team. He's trying to get all the info, you know.
He looks very relaxed,
in his brain.
very chill. He's like, yeah, I'm just hanging out. Take a picture.
Yeah, I mean, props to Todd Frazier, and not saying that he shouldn't, but I'm saying as a fan, just don't approach the guys during the game. That's extra.
Fair enough. But can a player bother another player? Is that possible?
Yes, that can definitely happen.
Okay.
I'm all for that.
What about this? Do you know anything about this, Lex? Did you see this video?
I did see this video, yeah. Well, we've seen athletes go undercover, right? Like Yonder Alonso?
Yes.
With the Indians. So now Joe Kelly is joining in on the action.
That's Joe Kelly.
Yeah, he dressed up in this weird disguise. That's this weird character named Jim Buchanan.
Jim Buchanan.
And he was bothering Dustin Pedroia and Eduardo Nunez and Xander Bogaerts out there as they're doing drills. And they had no idea that it was their buddy.
They had no idea.
No.
And he went undercover. And
undercover.
Hopefully there will be some more. We'll see some more videos of this. But that's going to be our question of the day today.
Yes.
If you could go undercover and ask your favorite player one question, what are you going to ask them? You have the opportunity. You're probably like sweating a little bit under the wig that you're wearing, and you have shaky hands holding the microphone. What are you going to ask them, and who's the guy that you're asking? If you're not on Facebook, head over now. That's going to read all these awesome answers from you guys, and Lex and I are going to reveal ours too in a little bit.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Danny.
You're welcome.
All right, time for us to head down to Jupiter, Florida, as we welcome in Joe Trezza, who covers the Cardinals for us here on MLB.com, making his 12:25 live debut. And what better way to do it, Joe, than with some breaking news? Carlos Martinez was scratched from his start today for a personal matter. What's the latest on the Cards ace?
Well, Carlos, like you said, Carlos was supposed to start today against the Red Sox. Instead, he threw a simulated game against minor league hitters on the backfields here. He's about to leave the facility now. He's going back to his residence here in Jupiter, so it doesn't sound like he'll be leaving the team for an extent.
All right, we're working out some technical difficulties with Joe Trezza, but Danny, you're a huge Cardinals fan. I mean, we hope that everything is okay with his family and his friends and everything in Carlos Martinez's personal life, because this is a personal matter. We might not even ever find out what it actually is, but we wish him the best, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And like you saw, he was throwing a sim game, so he got his work in. So clearly they're managing whatever is going on in the situation right now, and hopefully, like you said, it's not too terrible. He stayed, he threw a sim game, and Bud Norris is going to pitch instead against the Red Sox, so he'll have the chance to have that day. And I think they have a couple other guys lined up. I think I saw Sam Tuivalala is also going to get in the game today, so they'll have guys rotating through, but hopefully everything is okay with Carlos Martinez, because he's the ace of that staff. They need him there. They need him mentally ready, and they need him to be that guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And the video that we just showed you was from that sim game today, so we wanted to make sure that everyone knew that this wasn't an injury-related issue.
Yeah.
As far as we know right now from the Cardinals, that's what we're being told. So we're going to head back down to Jupiter as Joe joins us. Danny, thanks for the Cardinals fan info and perspective, because that's always really important in these kinds of situations. Joe, welcome back. So the latest that we've heard, it's a personal matter, and then we'll just wait to hear the latest after that.
Yeah, sorry about the connection. It must be all the snow up in New York that you guys are getting, and it kind of messed with everything. So Carlos is going to take. It sounds like he's going to take his next turn through the rotation next week, and they won't push everybody back just because he couldn't pitch in a game today. Bud Norris is going to start in his place, and Bud Norris is actually a really important piece for this team going forward. The Cardinals are going to stretch him out as a starter early in spring, but it's possible that he helps with rotation depth. It's possible that he helps in the middle innings. It's possible that he helps in the late innings at some point this season. So he was scheduled to throw 3 innings already today. He's going to come in the 5th and then throw 3 innings from there. So now he's just being pushed up to start the game, and Carlos threw in the backfields.
All right, we wish all the best in Carlos Martinez's personal matter, and we'll wait to see what this all entails. Meanwhile, their newest cleanup hitter, Marcell Ozuna, hit a home run the other day that I don't know, Joe, if it's landed yet, but if it has, you'll have to tell us how far it went, because it was pretty incredible. How much is this offense going to be a part of this team, and his bat a part of this lineup for the squad this year?
the funny thing is that where the ball did land was closer to his old place, right? Marlins share a spring training facility, and he wrapped one inside the left field foul pole that landed out in the back of the complex where the Marlins work out. So he got a good laugh out of that, and he made his debut his spring debut here against the Marlins. So it's been a lot of familiarity early on for Marcell Ozuna, even as he kind of gets used to a new team and a new situation here in St. Louis. As for his bat, he brings an impact bat to the middle of this Cardinal lineup, unlike the franchise has seen in at least half a decade, right? So he hit 37 home runs last year in a breakout year for Miami. No Cardinal player has hit that many since Albert Pujols in 2011. He was one of the top 10 or 12 players in the National League last year, Ozuna was. So I think that he makes everybody in that lineup better. They're really expecting some big things. Mike Matheny penciled him in as the cleanup hitter before camp even started. That's where he's been hitting during spring, and that's where Matheny expects to have him once the season starts as well.
All right, sounds good. What's the buzz in camp surrounding Ozuna now joining Tommy Pham and Dexter Fowler? I can hear the birds chirping about it. They're really excited, but I'm sure that the fans and the team's really excited for this outfield too.
Yeah, a lot of the buzz has been about how the new unit has been working with new coach Willie McGee, and it's really going to center. The most important thing is going to be how Pham kind of takes over that center field position, because Dexter Fowler is moving over to right field. He's never played there before in his career. And Marcell Ozuna, this is a new team and a new unit for him. So Tommy Pham has already kind of taken charge in a lot of these early workouts. When it comes to discussing how they're going to communicate, when they're going to communicate, how they're going to work together kind of in the gaps and in the alleys there. And if it works, it's pretty clear that this is one of the top outfield units in baseball, probably the top 4, top 5.
All right, back to the rotation, or at least to this pitching staff. Let's talk a little bit about Luke Gregerson, who was brought in the offseason to help bolster this bullpen. What's the likelihood that he is their closer from the start of the season all the way through?
That sounds pretty unlikely, actually. Luke Gregerson is the Cardinals' closer in name right now, but the Cardinals have made it abundantly clear that this will be a multifaceted competition for trust in the late innings and in high leverage situations. They have a slew of guys in camp, most of them with big league resumes of some sort, that will be battling and vying for Mike Matheny's trust in those late innings. You can look early on for Tyler Lyons, who was probably their best reliever last year, and worked his way up, to being trusted in those big spots. Dominic Leone, who they brought in from Toronto in the Randall Grichuk trade, is also going to get a very long look. The Cardinals think he has the stuff to play in the late innings, and he has swing and miss type stuff. Sam Tuilavala also has the kind of profile, the kind of stuff that could profile late in innings like that. Josh Lucas is going to be asked to get some high leverage outs in AAA. So we could see him as the summer progresses. Then Ryan Helsley and Jordan Hicks, who are two of the Cardinals' top prospects, both hard throwing righties with sink and with power curveballs. Jordan Hicks has already been returned to minor league camp, but it's very possible that you see those two guys in St. Louis at some point this summer. And then there is the Bud Norris option, who, the Cardinals don't really know where he's going to be, whether it's in the rotation or it's in the bullpen, in the back end or the middle innings. He can kind of do everything. The Cardinals really like his flexibility and the versatility that he provides them. And then after that, there's another trump card, and it's Alex Reyes, the number one prospect in the organization. He has a fastball that can reach 100 miles an hour, coming off Tommy John surgery. The Cardinals hope he's back by May 1st, and in the long run, they see him as a starter. However, they know that they'll have to manage his workload when he comes back initially. So if they have a need in the back end of the bullpen, it's very possible that he gets thrown in there early on.
All right, sounds good. Unfortunately, this Cardinals team has missed the postseason the last 2 years after 5 straight playoff appearances, Joe, as you know, and I know you know very well. With the rest of the division getting better this offseason, how are the Cardinals going to end their postseason drought?
Well, it's really going to hinge on what they get from their starting rotation, I think. This is kind of a tale of two teams in the sense that there are a lot of answers on the position player side. You know who's going to be where, and you know basically where they're going to slot into the lineup. On the pitching side, you don't really know exactly what you're going to get from a lot of those guys in the rotation. Adam Wainwright is 36 and entering the final year of his contract, coming off elbow surgery. Miles Mikolas just spent 3 years in Japan. The Cardinals invested in him, but they don't really know exactly what type of pitcher they're going to get out of him. Luke Weaver is expected to take a step forward in what will be his first full season, but then again, he's a young pitcher. And Michael Wacha, they're still going to have to monitor his innings. That's why it'll be really important for Carlos Martinez to kind of take that next step up into the top echelon of the game's top starters. And the Cardinals hope that by working with Mike Maddox, who has worked in the past with Max Scherzer and Steven Strasburg and a whole slew of other great pitchers, that Carlos can kind of take that next step. That's why this little hiccup today in camp is so disconcerting.
Yeah, absolutely. But I still see this Cardinals team as one of these wild card teams, man. I really do believe in them. I know it's going to be a tough division this year, but I do think they made enough improvements in the offseason to grab one of those spots. By the way, we have one fan comment for you, Joe. Jeff is watching and said, "The bird chirping is the salt in the wound as I sit here in my office with the howling wind and rain outside. Hashtag wish I was at spring training." And I feel like we all are, Jeff, sitting here wishing we were down in that sunshine surrounded by amazing birds to brighten our day.
Well, I don't know what to say to Jeff without sounding mean, so I'm just going to stay watching, and don't worry, the sun will be there soon.
I appreciate that. Nice work, Joe. Awesome debut. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Alexa.
Take care. All right, one of the new segments that we have here on the show, we bring you the best action from spring training yesterday in case you were working or working out, whatever you were doing. Here are 3 things you might have missed.
You want guys that can come up and understand the game and play good defense. Here's a ground ball back to the middle, ranging for its story. Shortstop's got it from shallow center. He throws the first.
Miguel Andujar will lead things off for the Yankees. Well, he went up hacking. That ball is carrying, and that ball is gone. He tried it again. Did he get it up into the jet stream? Well, he did.
Got some veteran arms in camp. That's a bouncer, and Walker makes a tremendous play. Salas gets over there. Christian Walker at first base. Nicely done.
Nice grab there. 3 things you might have missed. Now you didn't miss them. So
that's right.
Awesome work by our staff to be able to pull those things together. And I love getting those sound, some sound in there, some of the broadcasters, and a little bit of spring training action, just to get people excited for the season.
Yeah, let me get you a little more excited, Lex, because while we've been doing this show, our friend Maria Guardado tweeted out an update on Shohei Ohtani's outing so far. He struck out 3, 2 looking, and allowed a double in a scoreless first inning. He's thrown 19 pitches.
Wow.
So, looking pretty good.
Great update. Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm excited to see him. Man, this season is going to be fantastic. We're also excited to see Jim Buchanan, a.k.a. Joe Kelly, who has gone undercover as this weird guy out there in the outfield doing some stretches with a microphone, whatever he's doing. But Pedroia, Nunez, and Bogarts have no idea that that's Joe Kelly back there. He was in the clubhouse, apparently. Sound is on the way, so we will definitely let you know about that, because he interviewed a bunch of the guys and had some crazy interviews, but none of them knew it was Joe Kelly. So these undercover reporters are my favorite.
What worries me is that's what he thinks reporters look like when they're doing their job. That's not what they look like, Joe, but that is our question of the day today. If you could go undercover as a reporter and ask your favorite player one question, just one question, what would you ask them? If you're not on Facebook, head over now and let us know. We have some good answers. We need a few more. We're going to read these at the end of the show.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Danny.
You're welcome.
I feel like Joe Posnanski would have a really good answer to this. So, Joe, as you join us here on the show from Surprise, give us an answer as to a question you would go undercover and ask a player if you were a reporter and no one knew it was you, so you could get away with asking whatever you wanted.
I do that every day. Every day. Nobody knows who I am. Nobody's ever heard of me. And so I get to ask them those questions all the time. I don't have to dress up as Joe Kelly so bizarrely did there. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to me, it's like ask him anything. What's the holdup? I have no problem.
Yeah, I like it. All right, sounds good. I kind of feel the same way. No one knows who I am, so I can ask whatever I want. We got hashtag Friday Feeling trending on Twitter right now, Joe. So we're going to have you associate an emotion with some of our top spring training storylines, right? We're going to start with the birthday boy, Miguel Andujar, who has hit 4 home runs already this spring and is kind of, testing the Yankees a little bit to, push their hand as to who their opening day third baseman is going to be. What's your Friday feeling about, the fact that they acquire Brandon Drury and, they can't make this decision right away only because Andujar, he can rake?
Yeah. My Friday feeling is that if Miguel Andujar keeps hitting like this, Brandon Drury is going to find himself on the bench, helping out as a fine, 8th inning pinch hitter. So, look, this is crazy. It's way too early to start, making too many judgments, but he's a huge prospect. He's delivering in big ways already early in the year. The Yankees go into next year with such an incredible lineup already. It feels to me like this could be very similar to what they did in '96 with Jeter, where they just used them and figured let's start the future now. It is interesting because they got Brandon Drury, who's not an old guy himself. I mean, he's obviously a young guy who's been a prospect, but Andujar keeps hitting like this or not, I don't see how they can send him down. Yeah,
it's a small sample size this spring, but last year scouts were saying that he could hit at the major league level. So, he's got the track record and, he doesn't have that much more to prove. So I'll be interested to see when this decision all comes down to it. Let's talk about Shohei Ohtani, who is currently on the mound, and he is doing really well, as Danny was just reporting for us. But he's also reportedly going to DH more this season. Originally, he was off limits the day before and after he pitches, but that's not the case anymore. What's your Friday feeling on seeing some more ABs from Shohei Ohtani?
My Friday feeling is I can't wait. I want him to play every single day. I absolutely do not want him ever on the bench. I want him in the lineup every single day that he's not pitching. But I got to say, my Friday feeling is I don't know that anybody is being all that realistic about how they're going to have a DH spot open. I mean, the only way you have a DH spot open is if Albert Pujols is your first baseman. And the only way Albert Pujols is your first baseman is if Albert Pujols sheds 5 years off of his career. So I know that's the plan. They're going to try to have him out there. Pujols, you never want to underestimate a legendary player like him. But I'm not seeing how the math is going to work here. It's all fun spring training talk. But, when Albert Pujols starts feeling the pain of being out there every day and all of that, we'll see. But more Ohtani, the better. I want as much Ohtani as I can get.
As long as he's healthy, that's all we really are concerned about, right? Keeping that guy healthy, because that Angels rotation, I mean, we saw them crumble last year with injuries. So you would think, man, if I was running the Angels, I'd be like, that guy's going in a plastic bubble on days he's not pitching. He's not going to the plate more. What are you talking about? But what do I know? I don't know anything.
Well, I think the thing that's cool about him is that I think he wants this so badly, right? He wants to be in the lineup every day. So if that makes him a better player and makes him more amenable to the day-to-day of whatever, then I'm all for it. Man, I want to see it work. I want a pitcher hitter in the big leagues. I really want that to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's make it happen. Sure, why not? All right, we got the Nationals, Brewers, Yankees, Phillies, Rangers, Orioles, all among teams considering the top available free agent starters. Really, we got a slew of teams who are still in on Jake Arrieta. What is your Friday feeling on the fact that Jake Arrieta is still a free agent?
Weird. It's really strange. I'm not exactly sure what the problem is. I mean, maybe he's holding out for too much. Maybe I've never gotten this. I've never had, of all these guys, Martinez and Hosmer and all the other ones, Moustakas even now, I've had a better feel for it than this Arrieta thing. I don't get why it's taken so long. I don't get why he hasn't. I don't get why the Cubs didn't bring him back. I mean, I don't quite get any of it. But I think I think that the Nationals seem like the perfect team for him. That feels to me like the team that is going for it. This is their window. This is their moment. And you put him into a rotation with Scherzer and Strasburg and Gio and all that. I mean, you're talking about a team that is going for it and has a great chance of winning the World Series. So that seems to make sense to me, but I got to say, I don't get why it's taking this long.
Yeah, I agree. We'll have to see. If it does come down to the Nationals, obviously Scott Boras represents pretty much the entire roster, so that would make sense, but we'll see. Everyone's favorite big guy, Bartolo Colon, is hoping to pitch his way onto this Rangers staff, and, we saw him on the mound yesterday through 2 innings, an earned run and a strikeout. Okay, and afterwards he said he was happy that he was with the Rangers because he didn't have to run and he didn't have to hit, which I thought was pretty funny. I was like, man, as much Bartolo as we can get is my Friday feeling. What's your Friday feeling on Big Sexy?
We've gone around on this, Alexa. I'm not a Bartolo guy. I don't love this story the way everybody loves it. I love watching him hit. I think it's funny. It's funny to see a big round guy on the mound that looks, more like me than anybody else out there. But it's fine. I don't love it. I hope he makes the Rangers. It's a nice, fun bonus, but I know everybody loves the Bartolo story. Like, it's the greatest thing in the world, and I've just never gotten that much joy out of it. It's fine. It's fine. The home run was so awesome. Everything else is like fine. So I don't want to be like a horrible party pooper on a Friday, feeling day, but I'm not feeling it. I don't feel the Bartolo thing like other people do. Okay,
but you love baseball history. What about the fact that he's 4 wins away from becoming the winningest pitcher from the DR?
I think that's really cool. That said, I think it's really cool that Juan Marichal is the all-time winning pitcher. Bartolo Colon's nowhere near as good as Juan Marichal was. So, yes, it would be awesome. I love seeing records broken. I'm sure Juan Marichal would love to see Bartolo pass him because, it just talks about his legacy to the game and what he's meant to Pedro and Bartolo and all the great pitchers that have come after him. But, I also think it's pretty cool that Juan Marichal is the all-time, leader in wins. He's the guy that started it all, and I think that's pretty cool, too.
Man, really can't get you on this Big Sexy story. I'm still going to try, man. We'll see. We got Eric Hosmer, who is now going back today to face his old team. You're there with the Royals in camp. What's your Friday feeling on seeing Hosmer there in that Padres jersey?
I just talked to him. I just, 15, 20 minutes ago, I was talking to Eric Hosmer. It's probably a little longer than that. He's so pumped. I mean, he really is. It's so... Look, he's one of the great guys in the game. He's one of the great people in the game. He's one of the great, the people that love the game the most. He loves hanging out with the kids in San Diego. He loves the idea that he's starting something again, like he did when they first came to Kansas City. This is a cool story. I mean, obviously, it's sad. Anytime you see somebody who's been such a part of one organization put on a different uniform, it's a weird look for him in a Padres uniform. But I just got a great vibe from him today. I just think he loves this. I think he would have loved it certainly in Kansas City again too. But here, I think he's really embracing that the Padres are the team of the future, the great farm system, some young players already up in the big leagues. So it's been a long time since the Padres have had any real energy. And I felt some real energy at camp today.
Yeah, and listen, he's got his ring. Let him get his money and go hang out by the beach. And, if they do a great job and they win there, great. If not, he ends up being a great mentor to a lot of younger players. I'm all for it, man. I'm happy for Hosmer.
No,
yeah.
I'm with you. I'm totally with you. And you're right. I mean, look, this is a guy who does it the right way, and I think that was a big part of why the Padres wanted him. I mean, we're all about the numbers and the stats and the production and all of that. But they were talking, a lot of people today were talking about what a different feeling it is to have him on the roster. Just everybody's happier. There's just it's just a little bit better just because he's there and loving it and playing baseball with a lot of energy and enthusiasm. So I'm all for it. I think it's great.
All right, Joe, back to the Yankees. Surprise, surprise. Gary Sanchez hit a monster home run when Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton were supposed to shine in the spotlight, the two of them in the lineup for the first time this spring. Now people are talking about Gary Sanchez being the MVP of this team this year. What's your Friday feeling on that?
My Friday feeling is that this is like everything else in baseball and maybe in life. I thought Gary Sanchez was being completely overlooked by those two guys. I think there is a very real chance that he out-homers one or both of those guys this year because he's got tremendous power and he's kind of being forgotten because of Judge and Stanton, which is, And then he hits the monster home run, and now everybody's going on about how he's better than the other two. It's like, let's just choose like a middle ground on this. He's terrific. He's absolutely, those three guys are as scary a right-handed trio as we've seen in the game since forever. And he's going to be a big part of that. There's no question to me that he is a guy that is going to hit a bunch of home runs and his production is going to be, really, really off the charts. So I don't know that he's the MVP. I don't know that he's better than those other two guys. I'll still take Stanton and how can you argue with what Judge did last year? But we jumped too quickly, but I do think that Gary Sanchez was being overlooked early on.
Yeah, underrated and now properly rated is how a lot of people are looking at it, and I totally feel that too. Let's talk about their AL East foes, the Red Sox. The pitching staff is ready to turn over a new leaf. Chris Sale has a better, slower build-up approach to spring, and David Price is ready for a fresh start. What's your Friday feeling about this rotation this year?
I have two Friday feelings on this. One, my Friday feeling is their rotation should be really, really good. We really haven't seen back-to-back lefties that good in a long time. So that should be really, really good. But my second Friday feeling is, man, every spring, now I'm going slower. Now I'm going fast. Oh, now I'm in better shape. Now I've learned a new pitch. Those guys will be those guys. A lot of that stuff is, and I write more of them than anybody. So I fall for this year after year, but I'm not buying that Chris Sale is going to be any different because he's, slower build up or whatever, or that David Price is going to be any different because, he's coming off a rough year and he's got a new attitude. Those guys are great pitchers and they're going to pitch as well as they do. I don't know that there's anything new here that really we can grab onto.
Well, yeah, and I guess one of the main things that they were talking about was Chris Sale being gassed at the end of last year, and they thought because he got off to such an amped start at the beginning of spring, I think his first start he was throwing 97 miles per hour. They were worried about that. They wanted him to chill out a little bit. To me, I just thought Noah Syndergaard and how that could end up playing out, as the, kind of parallel storyline. So you never want to be throwing too hard too early in camp. Another Friday feeling we got for you. Go ahead, Joe.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
That's 100% true. And by the way, Chris Sale is, he's a veteran. He's had amazing success. He could have won a Cy Young or two. Noah Syndergaard scares the bejesus out of me. I mean, there is no reason for Noah Syndergaard to be throwing 100 miles an hour consistently in his first outing. I get that he's a freak. I get that he's an athletic marvel. I get that it's hard for him to throw only 95 miles an hour because he's got such an amazing arm. But pull back, Noah. I mean, look, this is not that hard. Nobody cares how hard you throw now. Nobody. And somebody's got to get in his ear and tell him, man, this is spring training. Settle down. Come on. Maybe we show him this video and it's you who gets in his ear and he listens to you. I'd love to do it. I would love to do it. Noah, I'm here for you, man. I want to help you. I do. Yeah, that's right. It's the success that we want to see, not the injury. That's for sure. All right. One last Friday feeling for you. How about some quarterback hacks? We got Tim Tebow, who is slated. I guess he's batting cleanup versus Max Scherzer today. And then Russell Wilson, who possibly is going to get some at-bats versus the Braves today. What are your thoughts about quarterbacks at the plate this spring? I don't like it. Look, I'm fine. We've actually gone around about Tebow as well. Tebow's obviously there's something real here. Russell Wilson, it's much more of a game and a show. I'd like to see this reversed. Is really what I want to do. I want to see some baseball players at training camp. Let them play in a couple of early exhibition games. And get them out there. I'd like to see that, like Clayton Kershaw, as the quarterback for the first couple of series of a Rams game or something. That would be fun. I don't like watching these guys go out there and hack away, whatever. It's fine. But it doesn't thrill me. I will say I'm a little more engaged in the Tebow story because this is the second year and he's clearly committed and he's playing the game with passion. And so let's see, I think that's kind of exciting. Let's see what he can pull off. Russell Wilson thing doesn't interest me at all. No, but Joe, tell me more about how you're coming around on Tim Tebow, because everyone seems to be coming around now, and I've been here. I have been on this train for so long, and now here comes everyone slowly but surely. They want to see, how far he's hitting it, his exit velo and all this stuff. No, man, save it. There's no room. Alexa, I'm bowing to you. I am. I'm bowing to you. No, here's the thing I always said about Tim Tebow. Look, I like Tim Tebow. I've always liked him. I think he's a very, very classy individual. I think he's played hard. I think he's gotten the most out of his ability. As a football player, I like him. I never thought he was a legitimate NFL starting quarterback, but that had nothing to do with his personality. To me, the big question was, how committed is he to this baseball thing? Because he's tried other things and he's been interested in them and then, whatever. So, is he willing to ride the buses? Is he willing to try, to do this? Is he going to stick around for a year after the first year doesn't go that well? Well, he's answered some of those questions now. I mean, he's still here. He's still around. He's still trying hard. I mean, the Mets seem a little bit higher on him as a prospect. Yeah, look, it would be an amazing story. I root for the story, as do you. What would be a better story than Tim Tebow, getting to the big leagues? I would love it. So I never thought it was realistic before, but he seems driven, and I love that. I do.
Yeah, I love it. All right, Joe. Man, Friday feeling, having Joe Posnanski on the show, one of the best. I love it. You're one of our favorites, Joe. Enjoy the game, and thanks so much for the info.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Take care. All right, Danny, our question of the day, we were asking people if they want to go undercover into disguise and ask a player what kind of a question, like an important question, a weird question, anything, what they would ask.
Yes, quickly before that, though, my last Ohtani update.
Yes, please.
He recorded 8 outs, all strikeouts. Now, he did give up 2 runs, but all 8 of his outs came via the strikeout.
Wow. That's incredible. 8 strikeouts in the spring? Is that the most that we've seen so far? I
think so.
By a lot.
In 2 innings, yeah. 2 innings of work. That's not right. That doesn't add up.
Wait, yeah.
3 innings of work? Whatever. He's doing great.
Good job, Shohei.
Good math. All right, so, yes, if you go undercover, what would you ask your favorite player? All right, Justin, Rowan, Wilson Contreras, what's the hardest thing about being a major league catcher? Chris, ask Aaron Judge how many homers he plans to bash this season.
Yeah, there you go.
Renee, I would ask Trout if he thinks he is the best player in the history of baseball. I'm going to guess he says no.
Yeah, I'm going to guess he doesn't answer that.
Not yet.
Deflects.
Yes.
But it's a good question.
Carter, I would ask Pete Kozma whether or not he likes the nickname Wizard of Koz.
Okay.
Lawrence, if I was undercover, I would ask you what you really think about analytics. It's interesting. Me, personally, I would ask Justin Turner if his beard is itchy. I would ask Adrian Beltre if I can touch his head. I would ask Eric Sogard if I can babysit his adorable daughter. And I would ask Todd Frazier if we could be best friends.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
What about you?
I would ask Bryce Harper if he could please go get a pedicure, I think would be my only question.
Wait, can we talk about that for a really quick second?
Yeah.
Seeing headlines and alerts on my phone about what is going on with Bryce Harper, I don't even want to say it, makes me nauseous.
Well, he had a procedure because he had an ingrown toenail, and this is something that he's had before. He had it in 2013, and he missed a couple games from it, so it's just something that's been nagging him for his whole career, which is kind of a bummer, and also really gross.
Yeah, really gross.
All right, our final story, Danny. Oh, man, you did some reporting for us down in spring training, and you also were helping out behind the scenes. What is going on here?
So I'm holding this shade that you can see. There's Dylan Bundy, and I was struggling with getting it out of the shot. So you can see every player, Manny Machado, looking over because I can't seem. Listen, it was very windy. My arms were very tired. Tim Beckham here just looking at me like, what are you doing? You can see the screen just sneaking into the shot. And I was struggling really hard. But I tried my best to shade those guys from the sun. That is A+ service, by the way, to get a sunshade. I just want to let you know. And I am muscular. And before I forget, because I know I'm going to forget, because I just went on a sunshade rant. Happy birthday to my mom, Mary.
Oh, Mary.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mary.
She's 24 years old today, so she looks great for her age, and she's awesome. So happy birthday, Mom. I will I'll call you again later.
And if Mary was never born, we'd never have Danny. So that's why we celebrate your birthday, because we have Danny.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, she's a rock star, so happy birthday, Mom.
Yeah, awesome. All right, Danny, happy Friday.
See you Monday.
Enjoy your weekend. See you Monday.
Okay.
Thank you. One last thing before we let you go here. We had a very interesting tweet that we wanted to share with you. Ian Brown tweeted out that Alex Cora is going to let Tate Matheny, who is Mike Matheny's son, play the entire game today at leadoff and DH as the Red Sox face off against the Cardinals. He knows his dad probably won't get to see him play. this season. So pretty cool, a very classy move, and we loved that info from Ian Brown. Thank you so much to everyone who joined us today, Joe Posnanski, Joe Trezza, and of course Danny Wexelman, and you for watching us here on 1225 Live all week long. We'll be back Monday with all of the spring training recap action that we saw this weekend, and we'll continue next week with awesome guests and awesome information. Have an awesome weekend, everyone. Avoid all of the wind and rain. Hopefully you are hunkered down if you are in New York, and if you are down in spring training, enjoy that beautiful sunshine. We'll see you Monday. Take care.